What's up, guys? Cliff here with Hamilton Transportation. Back at the Port of Baltimore today. We're picking up a big Hitachi wheel loader, a ZW330. So I'm already checked in, and they told me that this thing is in row F, spot 19. So let's head over there, see about getting loaded up. So I just delivered a little backhoe to Letterkenny Army Depot. Last video I did was kind of a ride along, and I had said that we got that load during that video, and then I would film it because it was a military load. Well, then I got up there, and man, I don't know how people live up in Watertown, Fort Drum. That piece picked up on Fort Drum, and they got like a foot of lake effect snow while I was up there, and it was awful. So like 40-50 mile an hour winds, just blowing snow right into your face. It was cold. And then I got there, I thought it was going to be a military vehicle, so I started filming, and then they took me out to get it, and it was this little JCB backhoe that wasn't even, I mean, it wasn't anything. If I can see, putting a video up of a legal load, if it's a cool truck or something. I hauled a 1.5 deuce out of Fort Drum one time, and I had to film that, because that's a pretty cool piece. This one was just a little backhoe, so I figured, we're not gonna film this. I couldn't really film loading it anyway because it was so cold and snowy. It was ridiculous. So anyway, I just delivered that to Letterkenny Army Depot this morning, and then I headed over here to the port. So we are picking up this Hitachi from the port. All right, we're supposed to be in F row, F19. I don't know which side that's supposed to be on. Look for an orange wheel loader. I see excavator. I don't see any wheel loaders in that row. So we'll try this one. Maybe? Yeah, there they are. There it is. It's up here on the right side. I can see the arms sticking out. So, I think we will break down back here. Try to stay out of the way a little bit. Call it good right there. It was nice of them this time. They gave me a little post-it note with the serial number and the spot on it. Never done that before. So let's go see if we can find this thing. Take a look at it. Make sure there's no damage. And then we'll pull it out of there and get it over on this side before we break down. I think it's probably going to be that big one over there. There's some smaller ones here. This is a 330. C25278. That looks like ours. Let's try to squeeze through. Okay, and we have C25278. So this is our beast here. Let's just do a walk around. Make sure everything looks good, no damage on it, no broken windows or huge scratches on the paint, flat tires, anything like that. I think it all looks good. All right. This one not quite as big as that 982 we hauled the other week. That one was like 72,000 pounds. This one is 62. So still a pretty good sized loader, but not as big as that cat was. Oh, this one has a steering wheel. All right. Cat was all joystick controlled, which I kind of liked. Got a cup holder. All right, let's check this thing out. Little spot for a fire extinguisher. Pretty basic. Gears. Low, drive, reverse. I guess that's what that is. Huh. And then you got your bucket controls. Some other stuff. I don't know what it is. Okay. Oh, good Lord. Oh, I just blasted myself on the knee with that thing. Boy, that really comes down there. Okay. We'll get it started first. There, she fired up. I'll sit you guys there for now. Ooh, I like the dash on this thing. Not real complicated, but it looks nice. Easy to read. I like that. I feel like with screens on all this stuff, they make them too complicated sometimes. And if they would just do like a simple, I really like that one. Just a simple way of doing stuff is oftentimes better, I think. All right. So let's see. Lift those up a little. And then we've got parking brake off. Into gear. And then we'll come out of here nice and easy. Make sure there's nobody in the way. I think we'll just leave it right here. Parking brake back on. All right, I think we'll leave it run, leave it sit here, and we will go get dropped out, get ready to load this thing up. Alright, so we should need 6 for this. 2. Maybe we'll do 8. It is 62,000 pounds, I guess. So 6 would be. I think 6 is enough on this, actually. This thing onto the trailer,
straight. So, all right, let's load this thing up, shall we? There we go. Didn't have the brake off that time. Do this without smashing into the truck. Whoa. Turns pretty sharp. Not a lot of movement on the wheel. Which I guess is good, unless you're not used to it. Now the key is going to be getting this thing straight before we load it. I think I already bungled it. Oh, the heat is on in here. How do I turn the heat off? Oh, there it is. Okay, that's off now. I don't know, the steering feels like disconnected almost. Think we can get it in one shot? Oh. Yeah, it's very disconnected. You steer it and it doesn't feel like you're actually steering it. All right, let's see where we're at. Straight. We're a little bit farther on the driver's side. I think we can fix that in the little bit of space we have, and then we have to come onto the trailer some more. So I'm going to put you guys back here while I climb in and out of this thing to get it lined up. See where that puts us. All right, now are we good? It's still a little bit more on that side. It looks pretty even there. See how much room we have behind it. Okay, I think this one's pretty long. I think I'm gonna run it all the way back here, and then I might set those arms down on the deck here. Like that. And then I'll need some wood blocks or some rubber underneath those arms. Underneath those. Before I do that, I am going to get hooked back up
and see where the weight is on this. See if we're all kosher. Put some air to the suspension. And then we'll throw some air in the truck back here. Okay, so air to the trailer, air to the truck suspension. And then we'll give it the beans, let it build some air pressure. Well, I think we're going to be too heavy on the trailer and not heavy enough on the truck, just judging by where it's at right now. We're only at 67 psi. I think it's going to have to come back towards the truck. We have air pressure built up. So luckily this one's going from Maryland up through Pennsylvania and to New York. And all three of those states max out my axles for me. So I can have 46,000 on my truck tandem and 60,000 on my Tridem, so it's no problem getting it right weight-wise. It's just a matter of positioning it on the trailer to make sure we're right. So I have Blue Ink air scales, so they will tell me approximately where my axles are weight-wise, if I can get them to connect. All right, there's the trailer. Is reading at 48, so we might be good, honestly. And 38. Boy, they had this thing way heavier than it actually is. Is that right? So they had the weight on this thing at, I mean, it is what it is, I guess. Yeah. And that's got a different weight for the trailer axle than it's showing here. Oh, the gauge is coming down. So there it's showing like 62, and on the app it's showing 58.89. But anyway, they listed the weight on this when we booked it at 62,000 pounds, and I'm only showing it at 54. I think before we pull permits on this, I'm going to call Jen. We're just going to make sure that's right. Alright guys, I got this thing positioned where I want it. We figured out that the weight is right. They had it listed as heavier and wider because that weight and width were for a loader with a bucket. As you can see, this one has no bucket. So we are at around 53,000 pounds. So now we can work on chaining this thing. I moved it towards the truck a little bit because the tie down point's back here. It'll be easier to get to them, to those D-rings up to there if it was back a little bit and the weight is fine. So I am going to have to figure out how to get a chain here. I guess I could just hook here. That's pretty solid stuff. Yeah, I could just hook here and bring it out. That should be fine. Okay, so let's get some chains on this thing, huh? And then I am gonna throw one over the forks on this simply because they're not tucked all the way down in. If I have them tucked all the way down in, I usually don't worry about chaining those. But because they're not, I think I'm going to go ahead and chain them. Man, I don't like the way they do these. The tie-down points are in a funky spot in this, and then they have steps in the way. And of course, my hooks don't fit. Are you kidding me? Well, I'm either gonna have to use shackles, or I'm gonna have to take hooks off. Why do they do this? Man, I do not understand these people. Why do they do this? All right, let me show you guys what I'm working with here. So, this is the tie down point. As you can see, it is a big old piece of steel, which is great, but you can't get a 1/2-inch hook through there. And I don't have 4 shackles that are that big to go over that. So I'm gonna have to take the hooks off of my chains, feed the chain through, and then put the hook back onto the chain, which is just a pain. I don't know why they have to make it like that. All I'd have to do is make it a little bigger, or make a cutout so you can get the hook in it. So if I leave this hook on and take the big hook off, then I can feed this through and hook it back to itself and into a binder on the other end, and I won't have to put the hook back on it. Then I can just take it off when I go to deliver, and I don't have to worry about putting it back on up there. Who did that to this cotter pin? That's where I bought the chains. I don't think I've ever had the slip hooks off. They twisted it, which makes it just about impossible to get the hook out, to get the cotter pin out. Drove through a bunch of snow yesterday. Of course, binders and everything don't want to work. They were all frozen yesterday up there. It was like 20 degrees with 40-mile-an-hour winds. Very cold. Oh, no, it's the pliers. Of course I did. Who ever heard of doing this to a cotter pin? Guys, look what they did to this. What is that? Why would you do that? All right, come on, Hitachi. Look at that. That's where I'm supposed to get in and get a hook on. So there's 2. 4 more and the forks to go. Sound like Abraham Lincoln. 4 more and the forks to go. Now I gotta figure out how I'm gonna do this. I might just go right through there.
At least that one was easy, huh? Okay. Now, unfortunately with this one, I think I'm gonna have to take the hook off and then put it back on. Because I gotta use, unless the chain is long enough that I can use my slip hook. Oh, I'm sorry. Go around my D-ring there. Let's see if it'll fit through. Nope, of course not. All right. That should be long enough, I think. Must have been a different guy doing the cotter pins on this one. I still twisted it though. Quit twisting cotter pins, you maniac. All I gotta do is stop that stupid pin from coming out. I gotta make it, hey, you have to break them in order to get it out. All right. Let's put it back on. All right, so I need a couple cotter pins. See, look, that is all you need. Just put it in there so the pin comes out, and then you're done. I'm waiting for paperwork anyway, so no big rush today. They're at lunch. All right, guys, I believe we got this thing all chained down. Now I just gotta get flags and banners on. So let me do that. And then we're still waiting for paperwork. So as soon as we get paperwork and permits, we will be headed out. All right, guys, we are all loaded up. We have our Maryland permit right there. Just check our route real quick. Dundalk to Kane to Eastern to 95. All right. So we are loaded up, chained down. I'm good. I'm good. This guy's stopping and looking if he has my paperwork. I already got my paperwork. All right, so we are headed out. So that one was kind of a pain in the butt to load. The tie down points were not conducive to my chains, to my hooks. So I ended up having to remove hooks to get it chained down. But we got it. Now we are headed out. So this is going up to Kirkwood, New York, which is just across the state line. We got a really good rate on it, so I'm happy about that. I'm not going all the way there today. Today I'm just going to take it back to the house, and then I'll get up in the morning and I'll head up to New York. It's not that far. I think it's like 3 hours, maybe 3.5 up to Kirkwood. We'll get this delivered, and then I'm either turning around and coming back home because the truck is due for a PM, so I have to get it into the shop, or if we can find something short near Kirkwood, we'll probably take that and get us a little head start on next week. Just have to see how we want to do it. There's a big old line for shed 12. I'm glad I don't have to run out of shed 12 very often. So today has gone pretty smooth. I got up this morning and went down to Letterkenny Army Depot, and that went off without a hitch. They unloaded me right away, even though my bill said my appointment was at 10. They took me right away and got me out of there, so I was able to get here and get checked in at least before lunch. If you didn't know, the longshoremen at the port go to lunch at 11:30 and come back at 1. So if you don't get here by 11:30, then you're sitting for an hour and a half waiting to get checked in. So we at least got here and got checked in before lunchtime. We did unfortunately have to wait until they got back from lunch to get our paperwork to get out. So it is currently 1:18. But it's better than just getting started right now. And then it'd be, 2:30, 3 o'clock by the time we were headed out. This way we'll get out of here, get home by, I don't know, probably 3 o'clock, 3:30 maybe. Been pretty nice this week. I've only had one night out. So Monday I took a John Deere excavator that I picked up in Kernersville on Friday last week. Took that up to, where did that go? Albany, just north of Albany, Clifton Park. And then I ran up to Watertown, New York, and stayed in a hotel up there. And then, like I said before, it dumped snow off the lake. But I did get home yesterday, and then I'll back home tonight, and then, well, I might be out tomorrow night. I don't know. But if nothing, no load pops up, then I'll be home tomorrow night too. A rare occurrence. Only one night out during the week. Oh, maybe they're not gonna let this guy out. I'll make him stay at the port. How you doing? Thank you. right. Looks like we're gonna make our escape here. Now, what is this guy doing? Can't park there. Difficult for everybody. You do have to be careful here. I guess this signal isn't working. I know people love to fly through this intersection. This one actually worked out. I thought we were going to be 10.5 feet wide and 62,000 pounds. And it turns out to be about 53,000 pounds and 9 feet 7 inches wide. Not bad at all. You haven't been with me coming out of Baltimore in a little while. We started taking a different route out of the city with oversized stuff. We used to come up here and make a left on Holabird, and then we make a right on, what is it? I forget the name of it. Boston? Broning. A right on Broning, and then a right on Boston, and then a left, and we'd come out there on the O'Donnell Street cutoff. We took a Cat 982 off the port, and the route they gave us was a little different. They brought us out here up Dundalk, but they didn't have us make a left here. They had us go up to Kane, and I liked that route, so that's the way we've been doing it here. Less turns, and there's only one like kind of sharp turn, and that's from Kane onto Eastern, but even that one's not bad. And then off of Eastern you jump right on the 95. So I like it better. This one is the only turn on this this route that is even close to a problem, and it's really not. It's a nice wide lane, no problem getting around it. And I don't know, it seems like I always catch a green through there. So we made it on the 95 here. Take this up, grab 695 around Baltimore, and then hit 83. Run it up, 581 across to 81, and then right down to the lot for the night. Actually, we might be going 114. I'll have to check the permit and see what Jen got. Now that I think about it, we'll probably take 81 down to 114 and run down 11 to the lot. But either way is fine. So I'm going to run this. I'll leave the camera running on the loader. And I will talk to you guys when we get back to the lot. Well, we made it back to the lot. So, not too bad time, 3:30. A couple slow spots coming up 83, but nothing real bad. So we'll get this thing parked for the night. Then we'll be back over in the morning. We'll run it straight up 81 up to Kirkwood, New York. It's going to Tracy Road Equipment. Oh, all right, guys. That's my day. Pretty early day today, 3:30 in the afternoon. Not too bad. I'm gonna grab my stuff and head home. So I will catch you guys on the flip side. Hey guys, good morning. It is the flip side. So we are headed out this morning. I gotta stop and grab some fuel, so that'll be, $800 or so. Diesel prices are ridiculous right now. I think we're at $5.80 a gallon. But we gotta grab fuel, and then we will be heading north 187 miles, right about 3.5 hours up to Kirkwood, New York to get this delivered. And then so far we're just turning around and coming home. We'll see what's up there. If there's something short, we'll grab it. If not, I'm just bringing the truck back. We'll take it over to Kenworth, get a PM done. May get a truck wash today. That snow up in Watertown, just the truck is a mess and the trailer, so they could really use a bath. So maybe I'll do that today on the way home. Yeah, other than that, so let's roll out. Oh, I got some new so I like to put rubber
equipment so that doesn't scratch the paint up. So there's a store up here in Carlisle called Surplus City, and they have, it's kind of like a Harbor Freight meets Ollie's or Job Lot or something. So I was able to get 2 big hunks of rubber mat for like $11, and I cut it up last night. So I got a bunch of new rubber mat, which is nice. Yeah, because the chain on the arms of that loader last night I got here, and it was loose, and I only had 2 little pieces of rubber mat left, and one was gone. So I was had to go get some more. All right, I'm gonna park the pickup, and then we will get rolling. Alright guys, just got some fuel. Boy, that was a first for me. Diesel's at $6 a gallon, over $6 a gallon. So that makes it pretty tough. That eats into your profit margin pretty good when you're paying that much for fuel, especially when you're hauling heavy like this. Because I don't care how good of a truck you have, you're not getting 7 miles to the gallon when you're 100,000 pounds. So I hope this Iran war wraps up pretty soon, and we can get the straits open, and we can get diesel prices back down. But we'll just keep plugging away until then. I know a lot of you guys are thinking, we'll just pass that on to the broker. And if it were that simple, I would do it. But you know, there are guys out there that will run for what the brokers post these loads at. So you go in, your negotiating power is only as strong as, you know, the dearth of trucks there is out there. So if there's a lot of trucks, I mean, you just don't have the power to say, no, I'm not doing it for, you know, $4.10 a mile. I have to have $4.50 a mile. And they're going to say, well, I have, you know, I'll take 6 calls in the next 10 minutes to book this load at $4.10 a mile. So they're going to let you go and take the next truck. So it's like, if you want to keep working, you got to take loads. And unfortunately, those loads may not be paying as much as you want them to. But the alternative is not working. So, and I've seen guys say, you know, you can get $7 a mile and just tell them what you're going to get and all that. And I don't know. I think it's market driven.
You know, it's based on the amount of freight compared to the amount of trucks out there that can take it. That's what determines rates. And maybe if you have if you have 10 trucks or you have 15 trucks and you're dealing with somebody that wants to move all the loads with one company, you might have some negotiating power there. But I'm just a one truck operation, and if you just have one truck, you're not making an impact on freight rates. You're kind of, in my experience anyway, you're kind of at the whim of the market as far as rates go. Back on the road. I'm gonna eat my biscuit that I got at the truck stop, and we will get up to Kirkwood, New York, and get this delivered.
One day I'll lose that weight, and I'll be on my way. Gonna kill me some heavy, gonna blow him away.
apologize if that mic wasn't working that whole time. I just saw it was on red. Hopefully I just hit it with my thumb when I took it off my shirt. Anyway, I'm gonna head in here, get checked in, and see about getting this thing off the trailer, and then we will head back south. All right, so they said to take it around the building, drop it out back here, and they will send somebody out. Try not to put myself in the mud puddle. That puts me way up here. Okay. We're gonna back up. I just would rather not get my feet wet. That's all. Alright, how about right there? Alright, let's get this thing unloaded. Oh, those worked pretty nice. Not too bad. Yourself?
I'm hoping it warms up someday.
Yeah, that would be all right, wouldn't it? It's all right. I was up at Fort Drum on Tuesday morning, and they got like a foot of lake effect snow. It was awful.
Right here, buddy?
Yeah, please. Yeah, it was like 40-mile-an-hour winds and 20 degrees out. The snow was like sideways. You know?
Yeah.
Man.
Let's see. Alright guys, this one's all done. Got this loader delivered. From here, I am headed south back to the house. I think I definitely need to stop and get the truck washed. Look how nasty this thing is. But we'll get that done, get home. Have a bit of a long weekend. Get the truck into the shop. Oh yeah, he's got room. Get the truck into the shop, get the oil changed, greased, so we can get out and keep running on Monday. I want to thank you guys for watching the channel. I really do appreciate it. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you do, give it a like, thumbs up, tell a friend about it, share it. If you like this kind of content with heavy equipment and trucking, then go ahead and subscribe to the channel. If you've done all that already, you still want to support the channel, if you head over to my store, we have beanies, trucker hats, sweatshirts, t-shirts. Help spread the news about the channel and help the channel grow. So, and I really do appreciate everybody that goes over to the store and buys stuff. So, from Kirkwood, New York, this is Cliff with Hambleton Transportation. See you guys out there on the road.